Hello and welcome to Urbek City Builder. We first played this game about a year ago when it was an early alpha. Took a look at it then, and then a little later on last year we took a look at it again and played through a bit longer as the game was being developed. And then so much stuff happened, and I took a look at the prologue a couple of months ago, which was basically like a demo version, kind of showing you the first bit of the first part of the game, of the first biome, that is, and then we kind of left it again. Well, the game came into 1.0 about a month ago, and unfortunately I'm just now getting to it. I really wanted to get to it when it came out in 1.0, but there was just so much other stuff going on that I just had it on my list, and I wanted to get to it as soon as possible. So if you saw this game when I played it a year ago, or even back in the prologue, there is a lot different, so it's worth sticking around, I think. I'd like to thank again Estudios Kremlinois, I believe that's how it's pronounced, for providing me with the key to play this way back when, and it's still a valid key today. And also their publisher is Rock Game, that has been brought on since the last time I played, I believe. So let's jump in and take a look at what the game has to offer. It is a city builder in the vein of SimCity and the like, but it has some interesting aspects as far as sort of level up and advancement that I don't know that I really had seen other than before in this game. Before I saw it in this game, that kind of had some nice twists to that old style, and it brings it kind of a bit of a difference to the way you build your game, the way you lay out your map. So I haven't really played this since I played that prologue. So we're going to kind of go in a little bit blinded again. So I haven't like strategized or done anything like that. So we're going to jump back in. We're going to play through the tutorials or the guide kind of thing, the hints or the next steps kind of things. And we'll just let it kind of roll. And we'll get through at least with the first biome, and maybe we'll do another series in the in the desert biome. And there's a few biomes I believe now that we can take from. As we, there are 5 total biomes, so we could do, a map in each one of those. But before we go into that, let's take a look, of course, at the options. There's a lot of options since the first version. There was like 2 options, I think, in the first version way back when. I'm going to keep, I think, everything on default. I did change the music to be streamer friendly, and of course, I think I adjusted the volume too, and I think it sounds okay. But we can make adjustments as time goes on. There are graphics options here too, of course. Kind of all your standard types of things. You can even set the fog color, which is kind of fun. And depth of field, of course. And then there are a bazillion hotkeys. I'm probably going to forget half of them. So we have to jump back in here and take a look at those at some things. Or I just may not use them, like the categories and things like that. I may just use the buttons on the screen. So back in here, the game is moddable. So you can see there's a handful of mods here. They're shown. I don't know if this is all the mods or how these work. Maybe these are the ones that come with. These are actually probably the mods created by the developer. And then you can get more mods here from the Urbek website, urbekthegame.com. And then you can also, download them and turn them on and off and things like that. So check that out too if you're interested in modding the game or playing a modded version of the game. We're going to play it vanilla though, and then maybe later we can do some mods. And of course, you can also have high-scoring cities here in the city ranking screen. I think this is just yours, but that might, because otherwise there would be some here. So this must just be yours, like the old school kind of high score table of just the local console kind of thing. And then, of course, credits. Bruno here is the developer, the solo developer primary solo developer of the game. He obviously had some additional support here as listed, and of course the music is provided via Kevin MacLeod there. Lots of folks here listed. There we go, and those are all like QA testers and things like that. So let's just go ahead and jump in now back into the new game screen. We can enter a city name or take one rolled at random here. These are all cities in Latin America, or probably even possibly just South America. The developer is in, I think, Peru or Chile. I'm forgetting which one now. In South America, though, we're gonna go with Wallyville because, well, I'm me. And the temperate is the best map to start with to learn the basics. That's kind of the, mostly grasslands. There's a desert, an archipelago, a Valdivian rainforest, and ruins. So we'll try and play through more of them later. We can choose the map size. I think I'll go to large maybe, because it reduces the difficulty a little bit, so maybe not, although that just means there's just more stuff to use, so that's fine. You can adjust the starting resources. You can change the way the sea works, so you can have like an island start, or you can have inland map, or an island map. We'll just go with coastal. That's kind of the default. The river, I think there was a river on here originally. Yeah, you probably want a river, at least some kind of river. So we'll go with just plain old river. I think that was the default also. You can turn off the snow or the desert, but we probably want them on just for variety. And then you can activate or deactivate mods for the save here as well. So I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. There's only 67% difficulty, but that's fine because they went to the larger map. So. We'll go with it like this, and we'll see. So right away, the UI is, let's see, do I want to pause? Yeah, pause. Right away, the UI up here, you have buttons to show the different menus and views you can open up. The city name, of course, up here, there's population and happiness, which are your kind of metas or whatever, and then your resources are food, work, and wood. And then there's some later, iron and some other things that are unlocked later. Down here we have our game speed control and the time and date, which can be minimized. We are on version 1.0.19.2. That was on the home page or main screen as well. We can turn the day-night cycle on and off if we'd like. I think I'll leave it on because the buildings actually have reactionary states for day and night. Down here are your main construction buttons, and over here is the tutorial. So let's start with the basic controls. You can move with WASD, and I already missed the rest of it, or by dragging with middle click, like that. The wheel or XZ can be used to zoom in and out, and then QE is rotation. So kind of your standard things here. You can press U to show and hide the interface elements. So I'll use that for screenshot modes, of course. And then you can press C to switch to the camera, which goes from a isometric to a I can't remember what it's called now. 3D, whatever the two views are called that I can never remember the names of. A little bit different point of view on the game, more top down versus more side view. And I think in this view, no, I guess not. I thought in one of the views you can only rotate by 90 degrees, but I guess that's not the case. So build a road a minimum 6 spaces long heading into a forest. That's the first step of the tutorial. So you could build here on this island, or over here on this, or not island, but this half of the land, that half of the land. I want to kind of keep somewhere near the coastline, because I do remember some things about the game. But I think we could probably do... Why don't we do this area here, maybe? Or we could do down here. Let's do right here. So let's build a road. Yep. 6 tiles. Let's see. I think 3 is a good number. Let's go 6 road tiles. And now we need to build 6 fields. You can drag and drop to build a grid, to build a 3x2 box of fields, for instance. They cannot be more than 5 spaces from a road. The fields produce food and need work. Before we do that, I'm actually going to drag a line this way. Placing the roads does delete individual trees, at least. I can't remember if it will plow through the forest. We'll have to try that. Let's go with fields here. And we'll do just the 2x3 that it suggests, and we'll go from there. Build 6 houses. Same rules apply. They can only be 3 squares from the road. So we'll put those in right there. To get information about a tile, you can right-click on it or use the magnifying glass tool. Get information from a house tile. So we'll right-click on it. I need to unpause the game too, by the way. Production is 10 work. Consumption is 10 food. They have 6 residents with 6 happiness. They must be 3 squares from any road, and they upgrade into a village house at population 130 and 3 farmhouses. All right, and that upgrades from the housing. So housing, and then wooden hut is the first house here. You can use a bulldozer to destroy building or trees. Destroy something. All right, we'll destroy a tree here. Maybe this one. There we go. What is required to continue building houses? Build a lumber camp in the forest adjacent to your settlement. The trees are replanted after they are cut down, but leaving too few adult trees can result in lumber camps being abandoned due to the shortage. So lumber camps are here, the first building you get in the industry tab, and we need to build it here nearest the road, but also obviously where all the trees are. But again, this has a... You see the yellow box here is for one thing, which I think the game will tell us. But then the distance to road is here, and it must be 3. It needs 10. It extracts 10 wood up to 5 tiles. So that's what the yellow box is. And you can see it won't let me place it out here. It's red. So if we go like maybe right here, then we can place that. You can find information about a stored resource by hovering over its icon in the top right corner. Hover over the resource bar. So here we have 300 food. We can store the 300. We're producing 84 and we're consuming 60 in the wooden huts. The 84 production, by the way, is here. They produce 14, so 14 times 6. And then here we have work. We always produce at least 5 work. So we can store up to 2,000. We're producing 60 with the 6 houses, and we are consuming 50 at the farm and the wood camp, or the lumber camp combined. And then we have wood. We're producing 15 at the lumber camp. We have 100, now we have 200 out of 800 possible stored. Now try to reach 100 population by building more houses and feeding them. At the top right, you can see the town's current population and their happiness. That's here, 36 people and 6 happiness. Keep in mind that houses will only appear if your town has a surplus of food. All right, so let's go ahead and stage out a few more houses here. I'm going to do like this maybe. And then maybe some over here. We can go up to 3 tiles from the road. As you can see here, distance to road is 3. And then I want to do this a little bit bigger here. 3, 4, 5. And then we can go out a bit like that. 5 by 5. That should work for now. And it wouldn't let me build any more because we ran out of wood. I think, right? Wood to build? Costs work to build. Okay, they cost work to build. By pressing Control, you can view your city from an inhabitant's point of view. From there, you can use WASD to move and the mouse to look around. Left-click to ascend, right-click to descend, and Control to return to the normal view. The speed of movement can be changed with the mouse wheel. Press Control. Alright, so we're here like in first-person view kind of thing, and if I scroll the mouse wheel, you can see I'm speeding up, and then I'm slowing down. I'm holding down W the whole time, though. I'm turning with the mouse, and then you can strafe with the A and D, and then back, obviously, is S. And then it said left-click to ascend, right-click to descend, right down to the sidewalk like that. You can see the farms across the street, the forest off in the distance, and you can see these little houses here. And then we'll press Control and pop ourselves back out here into the regular mode. Click on the farm icon in the bottom menu. You'll see the farmhouse button has now appeared, but is grayed out. I need to finish reading the things first. Let's see. Yeah, hovering over a locked item will tell you its requirements. In this case, you need to reach 200 population. More buildings will become visible and available as you progress through the game. Reach 200 population to unlock the farmhouse. Okay, so, and we can hover over that, by the way, and see the tooltip here. Farmhouse needs 200 population. We have 144. It costs 300 work to build. Has 100 food production. Stores 200 food. And it needs to have no other farmhouses within a 5-tile radius and 12 or more farms in a 3-tile radius. So we just need to build out, let's see, what are we low on? We're about equal, actually. And I'm looking at the numbers here that show how much is increasing. So we need to put down some more houses. I'll continue out with the 3, like that. Because 3 from the road, and then some more fields, maybe another 5 by 5 field. And that, you can see the numbers are always changing because as more houses are populated, they consume more food, produce more work, and as more farms are populated, they produce more food and consume more work. So they kind of trade off, but they obviously don't use as much of each other. Or as much of the opposite one as they produce, kind of thing. So you always have a little bit of a net positive because you have to support other buildings like lumber camps and things like that. Build at least 2 farmhouses. They produce a large amount of food while consuming nothing. Displayed areas can help you find where you can build the farmhouse. You can see the restriction on the left side menu. Okay, so go here to the farmhouse, and so the 3-tile radius, the blue box, needs to have 12 or more farms in it. So we obviously need to build these where the farms are. And then we can also have no farmhouse within a 5 tile radius. So we can build the first one, of course. That's not the right button. I think it's shift. Let's go like here. No, there's a button to place alt. If you alt click, and I think the tutorial will tell us this later, but if you alt click when you're placing a building, it'll build it over top of whatever's already there. So we need to put this. Actually, these dependents should have been further out, but I think we'll be fine here. Yeah, let's just do it. So we need to actually go out to 5 tiles, out past the yellow here, and then we can place this one here. Hotkeys are displayed between brackets when hovering over a button. For example, to quickly build a farmhouse, you can press F and then 2. So F and then 2 is a farmhouse. Select a magnifying glass icon and click on a wooden hut. You'll be presented with several upgrade paths. Clicking any upgrade path will show its respective requirements. For now, let's focus on a village house. So click on it. So here we have, these are the possible upgrades for building, and this is one of the new features, or the neat features of the game, rather, that isn't in like the old school SimCity type games. These houses don't have a linear upgrade path. Depending on different requirements, you can get them to go to multiple different things. And this one specifically is the village house. It needs us to have 300 population, and it needs to have 3 farmhouses in its radius of, or it needs to have 3 farmhouses built, excuse me. It costs 1 electricity, energy. So that's a new resource we have to monitor and balance. And then we also need to have 15 or more squares with at least 6 residents in a 3 tile radius. So this needs to be some population density here. We can't just stick one of these anywhere. It has to be here in a village, of all places. And then pollution's also an issue, which we'll get to pollution a little bit later. They will hold 8 residents and produce 8 happiness per tile, as opposed to 6 and 6 on the current houses we have. And then they also have to be 3 squares from the road, so that's fine. And then these have their own upgrade destinations, which we'll deal with a little bit later. So we need 300 population and 3 farmhouses to unlock the village house, and they need energy and density. So we need to build a lumberjack cabin close to your lumber camp to produce energy, firewood, from wood. Lumberjack cabin also needs 300 population and 3 farmhouses to unlock. So we need to build some more farms, fields that is, like that. And if you want, I think you can do this too. No, yes, you can't. Can I do that? Yes. You can alt click to place these individually. Maybe I could have dragged the box if I had done it up front, but I didn't. Let's put down a few more houses here, just to kind of balance the equation. We're getting a little low on the work, so I wanted to balance it out a little bit. And then we can do F2 and put up our next farmhouse right here, like that. That'll get us the 3rd farmhouse, and we're at 270 pops, and we should be able to get to 300 pretty quickly here. We may need to clear some trees. That's no problem. We can do that. And you see the roads are changing as well. So we went from a road, which is just your basic road, to a rural road, which needs to have a certain number of residents in it, and then that can be upgraded to 3 other options of road: paved, super nice, or nice rural. And we happen to have a paved road here that has it needs a little bit more population density. A nice rural road needs to have more green spaces and a certain number of pops, and a nice road needs to have 2 or more green areas, so that needs green space. So even the roads depend upon environmental factors, which is kind of a neat aspect as well. So let's build that lumberjack cabin. Oh, we can't yet. We need 300 people. Let's build a couple more houses then. Yeah, we have lots of food. We don't have that much work, so let's build some more houses here. And that should put us over the line, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that should put us over. Once they all fill in. All fill in, please. Maybe? Yep, there's 300. Okay. So now we go in here, and the lumberjack cabin... There we go. Village house and lumberjack cabins unlocked. So now we can build this lumberjack cabin over here. It needs to have a lumber camp within the 3 tile radius. You can see that right there. We're barely in the radius. And it needs to have no lumberjack cabins nearby and no lumberjack houses nearby. And this upgrades into a lumberjack house once we get 600 population and 2 lumberjack cabins. And maybe some other requirements as well. So we'll build that. That'll produce 60 energy. Oops, I did something. What did I do? Okay, a reminder thing. I backed up so we can see it, but it produces 60 energy, and then these start consuming that energy. You can see that the net is dropping now because we're consuming more and more. But these are all upgrading now to village houses automatically. Remember that no resource has a negative production rate. It will be marked in red when this is the case. Otherwise, some constructions may not appear or may be abandoned. Check your food production by hovering over the food indicator. We've done that before, yep. Only a few blocked constructions are shown, so as to not overwhelm you with options. If you want, you can see all possible constructions by pressing the escape key and then activating the corresponding option. Press escape, and then options, and then that's show all locked buildings here. Well, I'm not going to bother with it because I wanted the game to unlock as it's kind of intended for the purposes of this this playthrough. The tenants are peasants who rent the land, and their living conditions are very low. They need only 3 farms next to them. Build a tenant farmer. You can hold down the Alt key to overbuild. There it is right there. I knew there was a tutorial on this. I could remember that. So you don't need to destroy a farm to build your tenant farm. Just hold Alt and build the farm. So back here in the farm menu, we have tenant farmer, which needs 400 population to unlock. So as these upgraded here, they gained more population. They went up to 8 instead of 6 here. But we have not quite hit 400 yet, so it's probably about time that we cap this off at some point nearby here, and we put down some more, or we close off the intersection here. Yeah, you can hold Alt and replace the trees that way. But I think we can put down a few more houses, and we'll be fine here. And the houses, if you put them in the wintry biome, the snow biome, they will actually have snow on their roofs, on their trees, and such. It's kind of another cool effect of the game that it's kind of biome sensitive or whatever. Tenant farmer is unlocked. So if we go now back into the farm screen and number 3 here, we can put these tenant farmers down. Now they need to have 5 or less tenant farmers in a 1 tile radius, which means you can pile them up on top of each other, and 3 or more farms in a 1 tile radius. They don't need to be nearby a farmhouse. So we could just say, hey, let's put, you know, a group of them in this area here, right together like that, and that's perfectly fine. And we just unlocked the landlord's house. The landowner needs at least 4 tenant farmers to produce. Build a landowner's house. So that's here also. Landlord's house. We can put that nearby those tenant farmers. It needs to be 4 or more tenant farmers in a 5 tile radius. That's no problem. And then it probably has to be, I guess it doesn't have to be nearby the road. So maybe I put it out here after all. There we go. To get more energy, you can upgrade your lumberjack cabins into lumberjack houses. Right-click or use the magnifying glass tool on a lumberjack cabin, and you will see that it can be upgraded to a lumberjack house, unlocked at 600 population and 2 lumberjack cabins, if it has 4 houses nearby. Reach 600 population and build 3 lumberjack cabins to unlock it, and build houses near a lumberjack cabin to get a lumberjack house. Okay, so we need to probably cap off this road. That's the first thing. We should probably just say, hey, let's put a road through here. And then let's do another lumberjack thing over here. We're going to want to put down a lumber camp as well. I'm just going to alt-click it. It'll replace the trees, but that's okay. And then we want to put this down too, next to it or nearby it. And that'll be the second lumberjack cabin that we need in order to get to the lumberjack house. Now we just need 600 population. So what we'll do here is put down a few more houses. I'm just going to keep coming around the corner here. Go 3 deep. And that should get us up to over 600, I think. We still have 59 energy. I should have shown that we were negative at a moment there, but that's okay. These actually, maybe we weren't, because these just upgraded to village houses. There it is, lumberjack house. So this should auto upgrade into the lumberjack house. Oh, I need another lumberjack cabin. Oh, okay. Let's do that then. I'm trying to remember how much space I leave in the middle here. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But I think it's 1, 2, 3 also. So 1, 2, 3. So the road goes here. And here. And then I'm going to put another lumberjack lumber camp out here. And a lumberjack cabin next to it. There's our third lumberjack cabin. And this should upgrade now, I think. What are we short on? Four more squares with at least 6 residents and a 2-tile radius. Oh, it needs to be on this side of the street. That's my fault. Let's delete that and delete that. And put in the lumberjack cabin on this side of the street next to all the houses. And that should do it. Yeah, ready to upgrade. It will do its upgrade itself, just like that. And now it's here as a lumberjack house, and it produces 120 energy instead of, was it 60 before? Yeah. And it also stores 350, so you have a higher cap than you had before as well. This one should upgrade too. No, I have these on the wrong sides. I did this backwards. Let's do... Yeah, let's replace those, both of those. You and you. Let's do this one on that side of the road. And this one on this side of the road. And I can come back. You can come back by a tile. It's 3-tile radius or whatever. Let's see. There's more here. Because now part of the wood is used as fuel. Build more lumber camps until you have 4. So we need to build actually another lumber camp. They got credit for it because I've been tearing them down and putting them back up again. So we need to put another one up. And I think we could just do something over here somewhere. So you need to be careful we accommodate the radius there. Okay, be careful. Village houses consume more food than wooden huts. So build a grain silo to be able to feed the population. That should be here in the farm screen, but we don't have it yet. It needs us to have 700 population. So we need to keep building houses. I'm going to hold down the Alt and do this again. We have plenty of food, though, so we're fine to build a bunch more houses. Let's build a few more. You want to be a little careful, because you will, you know, overdo it, and then you have to delete things and redo things. So you want to be careful you don't overspend any one resource. Park unlocked. Did we get our grain silo? Not yet. Yeah, we did. We should have. Oh, we need one more farmhouse. Okay. Where can I put that down? I guess it needs to go way over here. Did I goof up what I was trying to do here? I could have. Because I have these spaced out. Okay, why is that radius bigger? That's weird. So this used to be way down here. I think we can do that. I think we can pull that off. Let's put down some more fields. Down to this point. Oops, that one too. Put a road in here. And then we can put that farmhouse across the street, I think. Ten of 12. Yeah, I just need to put a couple more farms down right here. Fields down, rather, right here. There we go. Alright, so that's those 5. So now we should have the grain silo unlocked. There it is. And the grain silos need to be spaced out also, 6-tile radius. And they need to have farmhouses nearby. So you kind of want to put these kind of in between-ish farmhouses. You can push them back away from the road if you want. It doesn't really matter. They don't have a road. Oh, they do have a road distance, 3 squares. Maybe we'll go like right there. And then really I should have another one right here. If we wanted to do a little bit more. We could also put one down here though, which might be better. Like that. And then they have more production and more storage than an individual field because they're 4 tiles. So they're producing 50 food per tile, whereas the regular farm fields are only producing 14. So you can see there's a lot of benefit there. You can press M to show or hide the minimap and L to deactivate the layer view. So there's the minimap, hide and show. And then here's the L to show the layers. The layers show like what biomes everything is in here. And then I think they'll also show other things as well, if I can remember. Yeah, it's like a strategic view. So like these are the farms here in this color. And then we have houses in this color. Roads are white. Over here we have desert land area over here. You can make your city have its own laws. For that, you first need to build a neighborhood council. And I think that's here in Landmark. Yeah. So that's just a single block building. It does not have a road distance. It just costs some supplies here, and then it has a consumption value. And these are the things, since they don't have a road distance value, that I like to put in this middle area, because they'll affect more things. I mean, this doesn't have to have a certain number of houses in a range, but a lot of them do, and so you want them to affect the houses nearby or be affected by the houses nearby. You can either right-click on the neighborhood council you built, or press J, and you'll enter the Edicts menu, which is the policies menu. You can launch one edict per 6 months. Launch an edict. So we can have common gardens, which inhabitants can make vegetable gardens in the parks. Parks produce 10 food and consume 5 unskilled work. Extend working days, increases unskilled labor by 10%, decreases happiness by 1. Reduced working days, decreases unskilled work by 10%, increased happiness by 0.5. Overexploitation of timber increases the production of logging camps by ×2, and the rate at which they cut trees by ×3. Sustainable forestry decreases the production of logging camps by 30%, and the rate at which they cut trees by 50%. And these, by the way, cannot be used together, just like these cannot be used together, and it says that they're in the compatibility of those. And on and on and on. There's a lot of options here. I think we'll just do this common gardens one. It's a good one to have, and it's cheap, and it's fine. And we don't have any gardens yet, and parks yet, but we will very soon. Villas are luxurious homes where people live well. To reach villa, build any 4 houses in a square shape, 2x2, away from your city, at least 5 houses from any other house, and with at least 1 park. If you build 2 parks, the road will have trees. Remember that the process may take some time. Get a villa. So that's why I kind of built this where I did. We can put the villa maybe over here in this corner, or even way over here in this corner. I think we'll just do it over here for right now, and then we can do something else later if we want. Let's go out all the way to the edge of the map. That's fine. And then we'll build 4 houses in the square shape. Right on the edge of the map? Sure. And then we need to build a couple of fields, or a couple of parks next to it. Those are here, under the parks menu. 1 park, but 2 makes the roads be nicer. So we'll do 2 right there next to it. And you can see the roads here get nice road. They get trees next to them, which is fancy. And these are still wooden huts. They're ready to upgrade into villas. Once they all get populated here, they will pop into a villa. I think we have to wait for this one to get built. Yeah. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There it goes. There's the villa. So the villa has to be 2x2. It has to be all by itself like this in this huge radius of no other housing. It only holds 6 people, but it does produce 13 happiness. So these are really, really good for happiness, but not really good for population density. So you kind of have to balance those 2 resources out as well, or those 2 resources, I guess, out as well, because they do produce work, which is kind of amusing because you wouldn't think they would. But they also consume a lot of food and also electricity. So you want to be a little sparing with these for those reasons. But if you really need to boost your happiness, then you want them. But they will upgrade into a mansion at a happiness and population level. You can choose which path you want to follow depending on which achievement you get first. Press the N key or click on the menu in the top left corner and then click on Achievements. There are 3 possible paths on this map: productivity, leisure, and wealth. Path to wealth, we need to have 4 villas. And then it's basically the winning condition for the game. Path of productivity, you need to have a certain amount of work, wood, and energy production. And then you win this car model on your streets. And path of leisure, green areas, you need to have 20 green areas, and you can see bikes in your streets. So these aren't actually win conditions. They are just making changes to the way that, like, by doing certain things, you get certain changes to the game, like adding these vehicles and things. Football pitches are unlocked when you reach 8 happiness. Getting to 8 happiness at the moment may not be very easy, so you can follow the tutorial without building a football pitch. You will see that there are different ways to develop your city. Some mayors are not interested in football pitches. Hover your mouse over the happiness icon, that's this one here, and I forgot to read the rest of the thing, at the top right to see how happiness indexes are doing. So there's the happiness score, or the happiness value here of 8, for example. And then there's the average number of, or the average amount of happiness for the whole map. So the village houses give 8. So the more village houses you have, the closer you can get to 8. Obviously, that villa gave us 13, so that helped increase our average, but the wooden huts and the tenant farmers are bringing us down, but then the landlord's house is bringing us back up again. So you kind of have a little bit of balance, as always. We did look at the mansion thing already, but I guess we need to do it again here and then here. So we obviously need to increase our happiness to get to the mansion, also our population by a lot. And then we need a lot more green areas in the 1 tile radius too. To unlock an upgraded version of the parks, Nice Park, you need to reach at least 4 green areas. There's no linear evolution in Urbek, so you can dedicate yourself to having a more beautiful and sustainable city if you want, and never build any coal plant. Get 4 green areas by building more parks to unlock Nice Parks. Let's go to the park menu. So here's Nice Park grayed out still. We just need to build a couple more green areas. I'm going to put a couple of those in here. They'll also affect the houses around them when the houses have versions that like to have green space. Let's continue with our tutorial that pursues only material development. If you are playing on a map with a river, you can build a water mill that will give you energy. It should be built next to a river. It needs a bit of wood for constant repairs to keep it running. Alright, so that's here under production, I think. And it needs 900 population. But I also just noticed the time, so I think it makes sense to stop with this episode here and come back in the next one and continue this tutorial, continue developing this little town on this large map and progressing out, picking up resources like iron ore. I think there's one more resource on the ground too, but I could be wrong on that. I may be wrong on that. They may be on the other maps too. But we need to build here along the river that water wheel once we unlock some more people, and then we can move our way here into, or here's the ocean, by the way, the seaside. So we can move our way down there too as we develop. Although I don't know if there's any benefit to building anything next to the ocean, but you do get benefits of the water wheels next to the river. So let's end this here, and in the next episode we'll continue this playthrough of this town as part of this, or playing through the tutorial as part of building this town, and then we can go from there. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.